Productions on the track.
What's up, everybody? We are in the pre-show, the Local Junkies show, and we're gonna get started at 8 p.m. But we like to jump in a little earlier, do a little side talking, chat it up. We got our man Big Pun is in the building.
What's up, everybody?
Pun?
What's going on? What's going on, Case? What's up, everybody?
What's up?
Good to be back. Good to be back. Thanks for having me back.
Good to have my man in the building. All right, so
Case,
let's.
You need at least Lucky Burrito.
Oh, so that's person. I might as well say right now, Lucky Burrito. I'm going on her show tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes.
Nice.
So that's gonna be fun.
Before you are officially a political junkie, you need to
least
7 times.
7 times. This is my second.
7 times.
All right. Do I have to get coffee or anything like that, or what I got to do?
No, just gotta come at least 7 times, then you'll be considered.
And then you officially will be a
official.
PJ.
All right.
It's like winning the 106 in Park freestyle. If you do it 7 times, then it's official after that.
That's
official.
Yeah, so I have
coffee. Just no coffee mate though.
I think this is a fun clip to start off the pre-show with that we can look at.
We're starting off hot.
Here we go. I love this.
Didn't expect a war like this to happen in, let's say, certain neighborhoods.
This is not a developing third world nation. This is Europe.
These are prosperous middle-class people. These are not people trying to get away from areas in North Africa. They look like any European family that you would live next door to.
What could be a difference here from other conflicts, that could seem very far away, in Africa or Middle East or whatever. I mean, these are Europeans that we're seeing being killed.
This isn't a place, with all due respect, like Iraq or Afghanistan. This is a relatively civilized, relatively European, I have to choose those words carefully too, city where you wouldn't expect that or hope that it's going to happen.
Wow. That was you choosing carefully.
Imagine if you didn't choose them carefully.
What were you going to say if you weren't choosing your words carefully? I just hope the next time this happens, it happens back in the Middle East where it belongs. Here's the thing, people. Here's the thing. Beyond the racism, right? Like, let's forget the racism. Oh, how I wish I could forget about the racism. You do realize that until very recently, fighting crazy wars was Europe's thing. That was Europe's entire thing. That's all of European history. They even had something called the 100 Years' War. You understand how long that is? That's like a decade. They got a Nobel Prize because they stopped fighting. Imagine that. Now people are going to be like, oh, to see this in Europe, to see this. Like, I'll tell you now, I don't know about you, but I was shocked to see how many reporters around the world, by the way, seem to think that it's more of a tragedy when white people have to flee their countries. Because I guess what? The darkies were built for it? I mean, you see how they run in the Olympics, Peter. Clearly, God has given them this talent for a reason. I totally agree. I mean, even if this wasn't a war, these people would probably be fleeing their homes for fun. It's just who they are. Back to you guys in the studio.
Yeah, what you guys think?
Yo, I was dying because when I saw this video on Twitter and I was reading the comments, and some dude was like, "Man, I was with you until you said 100 years worth like a decade. I mean, it's 100 years, not a decade. I mean, come on, guy." I was like, "Really?
That's what they got from that."
Yeah, really. And it's like, yo, the joke were like over his head.
It's like a decade equals 10 years, actually. Like one of those. Like,
yeah.
Just had no clue what the hell was going on when he was watching that video. I thought that was great when you commented on that too.
Man, I was dying.
This is there's a Chris Rock used to have a special where he talked about racism, and he had a bit where be like, that train's never late. Well, this train is not late. In the middle of a conflict, we find it rears its ugly head. From people being denied access to Poland, to getting on the train, to prioritizing, Ukrainian citizens. You checking for tickets, my dude? They're dropping bombs. What's going on here?
Exactly.
To me, it's so crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, and then it's in the racism. It's everywhere, and they don't want it. And then they don't even know how to say it, so they just go ahead and admit to it. Yeah, these civilized European. I mean, really, bro? Really? That's pretty bad.
Part out loud.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the one way. Even when I gotta use my word carefully.
Because,
It's
too late.
I mean,
I gotta use my words carefully, and let me go ahead and screw that up. You had one job, bro.
Oh my goodness. So last Tuesday, actually, we had the show last Monday, and then the Tuesday was an election day. So let's give us a little flashback on how things went. Where is it at? Boom. So this is a little taste.
Larger picture in Texas to me was it's sort of the appetizer for what primary season is going to deliver both parties, which is we're going to have progressives versus the centrists or the establishment primaries like Cisneros, Cuellar, and then you're going to have MAGA versus establishment or MAGA versus light MAGA like we have in the AG race and a few other places. So
light MAGA?
A little bit of the appetizer, I guess.
I'm surprised he said that.
Henry Cuellar, you could call him conservative Democrat, least liberal Democrat in the House, something like that. Moderate Democrat, pick your label. Cisneros, backed by AOC, backed by national progressive groups. Looks like neither is going to hit 50% here. So the race is going to head to the runoff. And the backdrop, though, for this runoff, too, is this is brand new for Democrats. This district here in South Texas, the 28th, is not one they've ever had to worry about.
Okay, so we don't have to listen to the whole thing, but I want to just freeze right here for a second. So Benavides, she is a Medicare for All kind of Democrat. So she kind of split off the vote, the progressive vote from Cisneros. Now, you can argue, huh?
She's a progressive. She's a
progressive, exactly. So let's just call her progressive. They split the vote.
No, she is. The problem is that if you're following that, her and Cisneros had some beef.
And yeah, they definitely had beef. Wait, Carlito, what did you say?
I said allegedly because
what does that mean?
Because I mean, if she really progressive, she would have just dropped out if she knew she didn't have a chance.
But that's what I was getting at. I think.
Let's talk about it. But go ahead, John.
If you
Wait,
look,
real quick, we got 2 minutes left. Just to give you a heads up.
Okay, well, we started a late pre-show.
Yeah, we might have to continue this on the other side, but go ahead, John.
Yeah, but if you look at that race, right, there was some allegedly, like, whereas Cisneros didn't let Benavides get access to some type of, I don't know the whole detail, but there was some beef there, right?
Yeah.
I think that she was late to the race or something happened. I don't know the detail. I got to go back to it and read about it. So I think, there was some type of disagreement there. So maybe it was like, okay, well, I'm staying on the race to do this to you. But that will we always talk about the left, eat the left. They should have worked something out, because that right there, those 2,500 vote would have been the difference for the win.
Yeah.
But I think it had to do with that. It had to do with them having some type of disagreement of not liking each other. Something.
That's what I'm talking about. If you really about it, you should have be like, man, I know I'm not gonna win, but I'm gonna screw you over. So just give me a little something.
Yeah.
Give me a little something.
Backroom deal.
And then I'll drop out.
But Cisneros should have kind of approached it that way.
Or Cisneros should have been like, yo, I'll give you a little something. Whatever. Somebody should approach somebody. I don't know if anybody did. I don't know if they said, like, I don't care what you give me. I'm gonna screw you. I don't know.
Like, hey, if I get elected, you could be my press secretary or something like that. Like, not chief of staff, because that's a really high level, but like you could be in my administration or whatever.
Or somebody was like, yo, man, I'll give you a little something if you just stay in there, screw it up.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we go. Let's get the party started. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Hey. What's up, everybody? This is K-Study QB, and we are in the building back again. We got our man Big Pun is in the building.
What's up, y'all?
Meatball drops every Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. Meatball drops Sunday. on Twitch and on YouTube. All right, guys.
I don't know what that's about. I'm scared to ask what that's about. So we gonna keep.
I'll tell you later.
But let me go around the horn. You know, let's. Yeah, I hate saying you are a guest, like, and to even treat you like a guest. You family,
He's a guest.
brother, man.
He's a guest.
He
He's a guest. He needs seven appearances.
Again, I heard I need 5 more appearances to be
officially a PJ.
Fam.
So okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'll go with that.
All right, we go with that. So I'm gonna go around the horn like we would normally do. So Bendone, producer Bendone, how you doing, my man?
I'm feeling great. It was a great weekend.
Awesome. Yeah, we had some up here in the east. I'm in NJ. I had some good weather today. How about the rest of you guys? Had some good weather?
Freakily good.
Yeah.
I wonder why he's so happy. Is
warming
it
good.
that Carlito, your team lost or something?
Yeah, but it's like this dude. His team hasn't won anything. His team hasn't won anything in like a decade or something like that. Decade. Let's say like 5 years. His team hasn't won in 5 years. It took his team joining another team.
They didn't join.
Super team.
Emerged.
To beat ours in the finals.
Where's the TV 12 jersey? That's all I'm saying. Where's the TV 12 jersey?
It's a duty, yeah. Listen.
Nobody's acting like a Knicks fan, huh?
It's more the other team than his because his team got bought out and they joined the other team. So it's not even his team that won. The other team won with some like they grabbed some players like
so you're saying like the Brooklyn Nets joining the Knicks joining.
Yo, this is like the Warriors. It's like they brought KD over and stuff, and they think they do
He's happy like the Hartford Whalers are in the NHL again or something like that.
Izzy, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right. I just wanted to give you props and Bedon props for a good intro for once. Like we didn't have double music, we didn't have double like graphics. You know,
you're learning.
Shots fired.
Like literally, like aplauso.
Wow.
Much love to Lucky Burritos in the chat. Much love. I'll be on her show 7 p.m. tomorrow Eastern Standard Time. Carlito, how you doing?
Yo, I'm still doing good because unlike him, my team is the actual champion of the whole year. His team just won one tournament this year, so it's like, okay.
What was the record?
Get a cookie.
What
Get a
was the
cookie.
record? What was the
You
record?
get a cookie.
Big Pun, how you doing, my man? He's back.
I'm good. What's going on?
How was
Thanks for having me
vacation?
back. It was great, man. It was
Nice.
cool. It was cool. Good to have time away.
Don't have to go into the X-rated version of it. We'll keep it for the after party show.
X-rated? What happened?
It was you tell me what happened. I'm just making
Whoa, he told you.
I'm just making stuff up. You got to keep the show spicy. Keep it
Like, man, I'm hungry.
A good time was had by all. That's all.
John, how you doing, my man? Before we get too off the rails,
I'm good, man. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Nice. All right, so let's get into the show. So we was kind of talking about we want to button up the election talk from last Tuesday because a lot of stuff happened or a couple of things happened. Well, we had some good victories on the progressive side. We was just talking about Cisneros. Oh, let's finish that discussion about so basically if they're going to a runoff, which means like luckily because otherwise Courier would have won. Right, let me bring up that real quick.
That graphic.
I click remove. But Corio would have won with 48% of the vote, but because they need 51%, which is good, they're going to go into a runoff, and hopefully they'll be able to consolidate Cisneros and Benvenides. How you pronounce it?
They need 50%.
Benavides.
Yeah, that
50,
hopefully that
50%, not 51.
They need 50 over, 50, just 50 plus.
50, like 50, like 50.1
or something like that. Yeah, exactly. So hopefully, and it looks like we have the vote according to the percentage, so we should be good, right?
Well, that's assuming that those votes are going to go to Cisneros, that those people are actually going to go and vote.
We have to be really careful with that because we've seen in other elections where, especially if it's true that they really do have beef, then we've seen issues where these voters that you would think are just going to slide over, like. This is a bad example, but from like Bernie to Hillary, or even from Warren to Bernie, we've seen cases where that just doesn't happen that clearly because people get I don't know, they hold a grudge or whatever. Yeah. So that 4.7% we don't know is guaranteed for Cisneros.
That's a good point.
And they all have to show up again.
Yep, they all have to show up again.
Right.
And and it just shows how I don't know, an educator our voters are. Like, this dude was raided by the FBI.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
All this stuff, and he still like get all this stuff on the
Yeah,
vote.
how you get 48% of the vote and you was raided by the FBI?
Well, I mean, let's not come on now.
The mayor in New Haven.
Big pun.
Like,
how does that happen?
Well, I mean, how does half the country show up for a guy who we know what he was all about? I mean, we can go ahead and just try to dice it up any way we can. The truth of the matter is, people are going to do what they're going to do. I just don't understand why there's not one platform where you can go and just get the truth from everybody, so you can go ahead and make a decision. Because if you're not an educator, you're just going to go in there and pick, well, they're on my side, so I think they're okay, and boom, boom, boom. But it's just bad. But can we get to another point that's really bugging me about this? Go ahead. Did you hear the term light?
Mega light?
MAGA light?
Mega light?
Really? There is such a thing?
That was good. I liked it. It was more real than calling them just regular Republicans or moderates or centrists or whatever.
MAGA light.
Yo, I'm surprised he said that. I am surprised he actually said that.
Lower carbs and lower calories than the regular MAGA?
Yeah.
And he was referring to who with that? I just Hoyer or who he was referring to as mega light?
Just like Republicans.
He was talking about the other races.
The other side.
Yeah, it was on the other side. So
okay,
so they call. So they basically call the regular Republican the MAGA like.
Yeah.
So that's the MAGA like is their progressive version.
Yeah, less sugar, same racist taste.
Same racist taste.
So another event happened. Pretty much, we had the State of the Union.
Oh yeah.
I'm just gonna play this clip real quick to start off the
President
conversation.
Biden wasn't the only politician we heard from tonight. Shortly after his State of the Union address, Michigan Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib offered the progressives' response from the Democrats. Watch this.
If we really want a democracy that responds to the will of the people, then we need voting rights protection and democracy reforms immediately. While we continue building support in Congress, President Biden can use his executive power now to take action, to deliver for the people.
Joining us now to discuss New Jersey Congressman Josh Gottheimer. He made headlines when he said that very progressive speech was going to be a lot like keying your own car and slashing your own tires. Congressman, that's a pretty aggressive thing to say about someone in your own party. So what'd you hear tonight?
Hi, Stephanie. I hope all's well. I'm from Jersey, and what I meant was pretty clear that I thought it's unhelpful for anyone in our Big Ten party to come out preemptively and criticize others in the party. And that's what I was concerned about. And, what I think we need to do as Democrats and Republicans is come together and focus on what's best for the country.
Shut the heck up.
But what did she say? She didn't say Biden sucks. She was just like, she was like, hey, he should also do this because, that would be a nice thing for him to do.
Exactly. And guess what? This guy, he had his own rebuttal. This is the guy who had his own rebuttal because he's part of the problem solver caucus. And he had the Republican, he's the Democrat, he had the Republican, and they had their own rebuttal to the State of the Union. And then he's complaining about, the hypocrisy.
I'm just glad that the progressive actually picked someone that is actually progressive to deliver that speech for the progressive party. So
when he said progressive perspective, I was like, John's gonna have something to say about it.
Here we go.
I thought it was gonna be your best friend over there. So I was like, if they gonna put her to put the address, I was like,
I think it was last week. I played Pramila Jayapal was on Mehdi Hassan's show, right? And right. So she also had a clip where she totally walked away from that rebuttal. Like, it wasn't the progressive caucus that kind of sponsored that rebuttal. It was the Working Families Party. So
why? It's a progressive caucus. It's infiltrated.
Exactly. At the highest levels.
And anybody could join.
Anybody.
I thought for sure it was gonna be like Jayapal, or John,
Dude, I was getting ready to I can't take her. I'm telling you, she's so frustrating. Yeah, and she's out there. I wish somebody primary her.
Kshama Sawant would be great, but she doesn't want to run as a Democrat. I'm pretty sure she does not want to run as a Democrat. But there's a little talk of Jon Stewart running. Like, they asked him in an article.
Would be interesting.
But for what?
That's a good question.
Or a Congress seat
for
or
president.
Senate?
He might as well go for the big seat. Might as well, I would say. Being a celebrity, and I think he would get a lot of support. I would want him to put him through the gauntlet to know.
Right. And like in general, like I don't like this picking celebrity stuff,
I
man.
hear you.
But everybody could get the chance if he has good ideas. Give him some debates. Let's see what he got.
What's wrong with a celebrity?
Because you're voting people for celebrity, not for what they know.
Exactly. So, for example, Michael Moore's obsessed with like Kanye. He's obsessed with Tom Hanks running. I'm like, okay, I don't even know if Tom Hanks is a progressive. I don't know what's his.
But why?
But there's a
Because he's a popular.
But there's a difference between Tom Hanks and this dude from the Mavericks. No, I'm talking about the owner
Mark Cuban.
And the freaking wrestler dude. Like this. And then there's Jon Stewart, who we've seen on TV talking about politics for 20 years. Probably even longer than that.
Right.
So
But I still want to put him.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying he gets a free pass, but he is a lot different from the rest of the field just because of how much experience he has, like doing this daily. We have an idea where he's coming from.
I mean, we know a little bit more about him than others because of the what he said in his show for so long. So I agree with you, Izzy, that we know more about him, about where we think he might stand in different things because of that. Right. But we don't know everything.
I wouldn't put Mark Cuban outside of there, Jon Stewart, because if you have listened to him, he explained a lot of the stuff. And I'm saying that he knows, but he has talked about politics, and he had talked about. He's one of the one that always says, like, I don't believe in donating to politicians. He always talked about taking money out of politics.
Yeah, but he's definitely not a progressive at all.
No,
he's more libertarian.
But when you break at the things, things that he has.
Yeah.
If you give me him, Biden, or Trump to choose from.
Yeah. All right. Let me give a shout out real quick to the chat. Much love to PJ Holly in the building. Raphael Rodriguez is in the building. Holly Horn. PJ Chris is in the building. Said what's up to Lucky Burrito. Who else? All for nothing. Welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Much love to you. I think that's everybody. All right. So I got one more clip.
The rap said at least Jon Stewart fought for the 9/11 heroes for the benefits. So that's one thing that we know about him. That that's positive. It's a positive.
Yeah, he's got that working man's kind of. I think he'll be able to pick up a lot of Trump supporters, ironically, because of his work with the fire department.
I don't even know that, man. I don't even know.
If he ran for New York Senate, he'd get it.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
If he ran for New York Senate, he'd get it. Because people are tired of seeing the same faces.
Yeah,
and,
well, Chuck
he's done
Schumer,
some things. Yeah,
he's afraid of AOC primarying him. But at this point, is AOC going to primary Chuck Schumer? It's kind of late, right?
I don't know. I don't think so.
It's this year.
Yeah, I don't see that happening.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. It's unfortunate too, because I would love to see him scared. Even if she didn't win, I would love to see a scared Chuck Schumer.
We'll see Chuck and Nancy for another 10 years.
Oh Lord. But I'm gonna play this last clip, and then we're gonna go to Carlitos Rundown.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was an interesting clip because this is like a reporter actually doing their job. And this is I cut out different parts of the clip. I didn't give the full segment, but if anybody in the audience, if you do want to watch the full segment, it is in the thread below. So this is the full segment, right? It's like 9 minutes, but this clip just has a couple stuff from it. All right.
Plan that has not passed.
Let me start it over.
This administration is so radical.
By the way, let me just say who this is. So she is running for the Pennsylvania Senate race, and she's on the Republican side. So, all right, here we go.
This administration is so radical, I wouldn't vote for any of their appointees because they're not normal Democrats. These are people.
And I understand. And you're talking about some of the proposals in the Build Back Better plan that has not passed the Senate at this point. But where specifically, you said, cut back on spending. Where specifically would you cut?
So there are tens. I've read through some of these bills, even the ones that have passed.
Cut in existing spending because those bills have not been passed. So that's not spending that they're doing right now.
But there
but
is
inflation, obviously, is something people are experiencing right now. So what would you cut in the spending that you're saying is contributing to that.
So but they also had things that were largely gifts, and I mean in 10.
Can you give me an example? I'm not sure I'm following exactly what you're saying. Can you give me an example?
Rather than bore your viewers with exactly where the money is going,
tell us, please.
And here's what I will
groups?
say.
Which groups are you talking about?
There are many far left groups and also cities that are not following the law that are offering sanctuary to illegal immigrants that are
Philadelphia.
So we are having ghost flights coming.
So are you saying that you would cut money to Philadelphia? You would cut back on the money that Philadelphia gets from the federal government?
They're not.
So is there some funding that you're saying you would cut to Philadelphia?
So what I'm saying is, I think there are ways at the federal level to force these cities not to defund the police, to enforce the laws, to make sure that violent criminals are not on the streets. It was stolen legally.
Do you believe that it was stolen?
Senator Rand Paul referred to a forensic audit.
Well, I'm asking you because you're running for
I'm answering you. Let me answer the question, Lauren. Thank you.
Certainly.
So
she's not going back to that show ever again.
So I want you guys in the audience.
Is she gonna get invited?
Yeah, it was a teaser. So like, go watch the full segment. That's why I cut you off at certain parts. But I thought that I just wanted to highlight what a real reporter, how that looks like, and I wish we had reporters like that. What do you think, Big Pun?
Okay, so I love that she asked the right questions, right? But you got to let the person drown in their own crap. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Maybe she's MAGA light. I don't even know what's going on there, but it seemed to be. I knew exactly where this is going. Pennsylvania first with the logo and the whole thing in the back, and it looked familiar. Listen, I love that she attacked her, and she has to go ahead and learn how to defend herself when in these situations. But this is crazy. These guys don't have answers. I don't want to bore your audience with the truth or with an answer that actually makes sense. Like when you hear that right away, I checked out. I was like, oh, that's it. I don't want to hear anything else. She doesn't have anything to say to me that's going to be remotely close to the truth. Horrible. But great job in the reporting. I like that.
Yeah. Imagine somebody on MSNBC. Now, of course, actually, this is a local channel, so I got to give them props because local channels usually try to stay as neutral as possible. So, indeed, if she did this same thing to the Democrats, I would love it even more because now you hitting both sides. Absolutely. But on MSNBC, I don't think you'll ever see like the host do that to a Democrat. On Fox News, you'll hardly see a host.
Yeah, something similar happened with Kelly Leffler when she was running for Senate against Raphael Warnock here in Georgia. Because in the local debates, every time they ask her a question, she'll say, well, radical leftist Raphael Warnock, radical leftist, like no matter what the question was, like, yo, how's the weather outside? Radical leftist Raphael Warnock, and they were like, yo, but seriously, like, can you say something else? What the hell? Yeah, so they got at her finally because they were tired of her just repeating the same thing, no matter what the question was.
It's their dog whistle. It's their dog whistle.
A lot of them doing that Trump playbook, right? They gonna call and they're just gonna be like, "See," but I don't think it's gonna work. You know, it's not gonna work as good as they think it is.
I mean, it's been working because you say everybody, oh no, the CRT and whatever, and they're like, what's CRT? Exactly. Well, you know, it's racist.
Radical leftist.
You guys remember that debate? I'm trying to remember the situation. It was so Obama and Mitt Romney. They were debating, and the moderator corrected him. What was the correction the moderator made? Because he was saying like Romney was trying to say that Obama didn't. What was it? He didn't say something, but the moderator basically came in and fact checked. I don't know if you guys remember. No. Yo, she lost her job. She's never found on TV ever again. Like really?
Especially well, that's the Republicans right now. They said they're not doing any more the debates because they don't want fact checking.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
Right away. Again, this is another dog whistle. It's like we don't want anybody to tell the truth, so therefore we're not going to participate.
Terrible.
Let's go to idiocracy. They still know that they're going to get the vote, so it doesn't matter if you tell the truth or not.
The less opportunity they have to look bad or whatever, they'll be like, okay, well.
The thing is that there's no consequences in that party. Look what they're doing with the current judge that was nominated. What did Mitch McConnell come and say? Oh, we have to do this whole deep background check and make sure that she's qualified. They put 2 non-qualified people in there, like in a week span. So they get away with it because nobody in that party hold them accountable. So they have their base. Their base is going to support them, and they don't care, right? They know they're not going to lose power.
It was looking like an interview for an NFL head coach. We're going to put these people up here, but it's just because we have to. You heard about that rule, right? We good? We good? All right.
I was actually surprised he got hired though. He's not a head coach, but he's part of I think Pittsburgh Steelers, right? You guys heard?
Hey, boo, boo, NFL, boo, boo. Take that hat off.
The Steelers got. Is it like the last team with a black head coach? Is that why?
I need you to stop. Relax.
All right. So I'm going to throw out. We haven't done trivia in a long time. I didn't prep or anything like that, but I heard this on a show on NBC LX.
Colin Allred.
Huh? I call it Allred. That's the answer.
No, listen. Shredder from Oregon.
The pasty white guy from.
These are throwbacks from way back.
Richie Torres.
Big pun. This is way back when we used to do shows, like maybe 6 months ago. We used to do trivia shows. But anyway,
back in the day.
Here's the question:
Mm-hmm.
What state is the only state that allows everyone to vote? And I mean by everyone is
New Hampshire, Vermont. One of them.
Okay, you got one. Carlito got one.
You said there's only one.
There's only
Or
one.
are there more than one?
I'm sorry, there's 2.
Oh, Oregon.
Nope.
Idaho.
And what I mean by this, while you guys think about it a little bit, I mean everyone, of course, age 18 and above, but they allow prisoners to vote. So Carlito got Vermont.
Yeah, I don't remember, but it's white state.
Yeah, it is
white.
All right, so we're gonna leave. Oh, so Chris acts in the primaries. No, I mean in the general. So period. So Vermont is definitely one. I'm gonna leave it open.
For now, they said Maine.
Maine. There you go. Maine.
That's what I was saying 3 times.
Oh, I did not hear you.
Sorry,
I did not hear you.
We got.
So we're talking about
before you said it.
Current inmates? Or we're talking about people that really wow.
Yeah, right. Isn't that interesting?
Very.
So maybe that's how Sister Collins won.
Huh?
Maybe that's how Collins won. She went to the prison and got everybody to vote.
I would love to see a segment on that. That's something that I would love to see.
But it's like, listen, it's real simple. There ain't no black people up there, so they don't. So they give people rights. That's how it is.
Yo, I didn't even think about it that way. That's
exactly why.
That's why I said Maine, because as soon as you said prisoners, I said Maine because it's only white prisoners up there.
Yeah,
maybe a few blacks.
Mostly.
They're like, oh, we want our cousin to vote too. So
exactly.
Yeah, right.
All right, so let's go to my man Carlito. I still gotta get a graphic for you, Carlito. My bad. I'm sorry.
Graphics. I need a theme music. I need a
theme music.
Everything, man.
Everything. I got you, bro.
We'll get that in another year or so.
Yeah. I'm saying it only took 70 episodes to not mess up the intro. So
wow.
Don't ask for much. Don't ask for too much.
All right. First story. Start with a good one. I should have saved it for last, man. But whatever, man. U.S. offshore wind power lease sell nets record $4.3 billion by agency France Press at courthousenews.com. So in the last auction of offshore areas in 2018, the lots had gone for about $1,040 per acre, but this time they went for nearly $9,000 per acre after 3 days and 64 rounds of bidding. Now, it's it's wind energy. They were selling leases for that, but so this is obviously a big deal for the environment. But this is the highest grossing energy auction in U.S. history, period, including oil and gas leases. Wow. All right, so this obviously a big deal for our environment. But it's a dumb, easy decision for energy companies. So why it took them so long, Izzy?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I was even surprised that, I'm trying to understand how this all came to be, how these prices got to be this high, and the companies are actually like bidding for it. It was great to see. I'm still trying to understand the background behind all this. There's got to be something going on in the background that we're not finding out here. But either way, like you said, it is good news. I try not to rain on your parade too much on this one. I think of the quote like from Field of Dreams, right? Like if you build it, they will come. Like put the leases out there, get the bids out there, and people will they will see the green dollars and start investing if you just give them the opportunities. The only thing I will say though is this is all part of like I guess this is part of a fight against climate change on the Biden's administration, where they have the goal to produce 30 gigawatts of offshore wind energy by 2030. And I mean, okay, good, all right, fine, but it's just not nearly enough. Like, I hope we're doing so much more than just this one type of project in order to try and get us where we need to be, in terms of like net zero emissions.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not nearly enough, but like it should have been like so common sense. It's a money maker, because when you do oil and gas, you buy the lease for the land, but then you got to put so much into the infrastructure, and then all the drilling and hoping you get oil, and then the oil it wears, you run out. Well, wind is like you build your wind, and then the wind is free. You build the turbine, and then you're done pretty much.
That's it.
By comparison. So
one
it's
other
like,
thing I will add too from the article, they say that the winning companies have committed, and again, we'll see how this all plays out, but they have committed to several conditions, including employing unionized workers, complying with environmental regulations, which, like Carlito said, is a lot easier when you're just dealing with wind. But they also have to engage in dialogue with Native American tribes from the areas, fishermen and the communities and such, to try and evaluate the impact of these turbines going into that area. So if all this shakes out the way it should, based on these rules and regulations that they have, I think it's a great initiative overall, and it's how our future energy projects should be run.
So let me ask this question: is why we can't just have the government pay for everything, and then like the government is a municipal company? Like, why we gotta lease it to the private?
Where are they going to get the money, Case? Where the
government?
Who's going to pay for it, Case? You're going to pay money from the defense company?
I thought you were serious at first. I was about to say what?
They got money for Tomahawk missiles. They just don't have money for turbines.
Yeah, it's the same reason we don't have municipal Wi-Fi, man. Is because they're not gonna make money. You need companies, private industry, to make money off it. Otherwise,
That's the funny
it's not gonna
part,
happen.
though. The government can make money off of this.
Not the government, private companies.
Well, they can too. Everybody can make money if they just invested. I mean, I read the Green Dollar. What was it called? The Green Collar Economy by Van Jones. Like, this is probably almost like 15 years ago, where he lays it out all for us, like even back then.
Before he became a crybaby.
Yeah,
big disappointment. I haven't seen him in a while, actually, on CNN. I wonder what happened.
Okay. Wasn't he dating Kim?
What?
Was he
before ski?
Did he break up Kim and Kanye? Is that what happened?
This is just rumor mills out here. I don't know, but people tell me that Van and Kim were an item. Well, I don't know if it's true, right?
But when she was working on criminal justice thing and whatever.
That's where they met up. But anyway, let me reel it back in a little bit. Have you guys heard about so I was watching Sagar and Crystal on Breaking Points, and Sagar brought up, like, he really was an advocate for nuclear power. Now, traditionally, you think of Chernobyl, you think of I think it's 3 Mile Island or something.
3 Mile Island, yes.
I'm like a hard no. But he was advocating for it as the newer nuclear technology is a lot better, is a lot less nuclear waste, and there's a whole bunch of different things. He's trying to sell it. So I was wondering, have anybody heard about this updated nuclear energy?
It sounds like clean coal to me.
I know. Yeah. That's how I feel about it.
So how I understand it, ever since the Chernobyl disaster, there have been things put in place, regulations for the future and to retrofit the old nuclear reactors. If you really look at it, they have sold it as a relatively safe thing, right? And that's what most of the reactors for our submarines and for our aircraft carriers are used. So if you think, it becomes a problem, of course, when invading forces want to target that with weapons. But if you think about it, I mean, relatively safe scientifically, except for the waste and all that other stuff that and the things that could happen, the accidents. We know Japan had an accident, and that. So, and the repercussions of the fishing industry and all that other stuff have been crazy, and they're going to go on forever. So, I mean, they sell that way, but and the fact that those disasters have put in some other things in place, but I don't know how.
According to my extensive research of experts on Reddit, There were and there are different technologies altogether for nuclear that, you know, sometimes basically it's like the best idea isn't always the one that wins, is the one that, you know, is whatever gets the backing pretty much. So there were allegedly there are different technologies, nuclear technologies that are not as wasteful and are safer. I don't know, you know, I read some stuff that somebody said, you know, whatever, but I could believe it. But the problem is like people want to make money. So again, the best idea doesn't always win because somebody needs to make money off of it.
And my thing is too, like, is it even something that's really needed? Like, there are clear risks with nuclear. Even if you can reduce the risk, there are clear risks here. Are those risks even needed? When we have wind, we have solar, we have, you know, even hydropower. Do we even need nuclear? I understand it's just.
But I don't know. I don't know how less risky it is.
Then wind.
Wait, what was that, Carlito?
I said I don't know how less risky it is from what I was reading. Some, you know, they were saying like it's like a lot less, like, but I really don't know.
I'm talking about compared to solar and wind. There's
that was
zero risk with.
Yeah, that was Sager's point. He was saying that it's a lot more efficient than solar and less wasteful. He was making a hard sell on it.
Right.
I would like to see a pro nuclear weapons, nuclear
energy.
Wait a minute.
A pro and then an anti and see them debate. And I would love to watch that debate.
That'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, to see because I'm with you, Big Pun. Like, it's a huge target for terrorists. All you have to do is bomb this thing, and then for God knows how long, the 6 miles or whatever miles around there is unlivable. Like, what's the point?
Or take it over. Just be like, I'm taking over the planet.
Yeah.
Give me this, or we're gonna just blow up this, and I don't care because I'm gonna be here anyway. Oh, really? That's great.
Yeah. Not to mention, just not even blow it up. These things are hackable. Like, I don't rely on the government. And Izzy, you would you know more than anybody how less secure or not secure our government is.
You don't rely on the government, but you want them to buy wind turbines.
What's the worst can happen with wind turbines, right?
Bendon is gonna be like,
you'll kill a couple birds.
Bendon is gonna be like, hey Google, turn this nuclear.
Hey Google, put some water in this reactor.
Yeah, well, to your point, Bendon.
People hack, like, you know, we have municipalities that have been hacked already, or facilities that have been hacked. You know, the water facility that they started adding all these extra chemicals to it. You know, or they almost succeeded in that. I guess there was a failsafe there, but you add a little less water to a nuclear reactor to let it overheat or do something along those lines. And that's it. And that's not going to be very hard to do with our infrastructure and how unsecure it is.
Yeah. So regarding that, I'm not even worried about that because the more imminent threat is just cheap owners, because there have been nuclear plants now that they haven't not been upkept because they don't want to spend the money to keep them up to date. And I forgot where, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Is it because of regulations though?
No, the fines are never enough. They just like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, the fine is not worth whatever they could save a few bucks. And if something leaks, they don't care, because the other point where you were talking about the government, nuclear energy shouldn't even exist in a capitalist environment because nobody insures them. The government is the only people that insures them. Exactly. They can't exist because the risk is so great that you're not gonna see Progressive, Allstate, Geico, nobody is gonna insure a nuclear plant ever.
But that's a question that I would have for that debate if it did happen.
Exactly.
I
sure
would want
there's
to
a
know.
counterpoint, but I want to hear it. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But
just to your point, I just had this
go ahead. Tell me a story.
I had this queued up for later because I want to talk about this later. But here is the Sackler family. You know how they basically got a whole bunch of people hooked on opioids. They just settled for, I think it was $6 billion, and they just finally settled. So, but anyway, I just wanted to bring up that point because I'm sure they made a lot more money than the $6 billion that they settled.
Yeah. And nobody went to jail.
And nobody went to jail.
Nobody goes to prison.
And matter of fact, they had audacity to try to fight the initial settlement. Like, they were like, "Oh, we don't want to pay the $6 billion. They want to pay less."
That's why they take all the risk, because it's like by the time they get fined and they get everything and they finish, they make so much money. Yeah, that's like, you know, just a slap in the wrist.
I want to give a shout out to my man PJ Neat is in the building, and we're gonna keep it moving. because the next article, I think I want to spend some time on this one. We want to go through this. We're going to bring this article to the front of the congregation and have it answer for itself.
Let's go. This hurt my heart.
All
This hurt
right.
my heart.
Let's go. Common U.S. foods that are banned in other countries from the Chicago Tribune. So I personally love the smell of black coffee, but I've never been a coffee drinker. Never liked the taste. So when I did have some coffee, I will put my little coffee mate, French vanilla up in there.
Okay.
And then in a podcast recently, I heard that it's banned in some countries over harmful ingredients like partially hydrogenated soybean and cottonseed oils that are linked to heart disease. I was like, damn. And then come to find out that stuff is banned in the U.S. and it's still being sold. So that made me look up, some other foods.
Wait, say that one more time for the people in the back.
It is banned. Yo, those, things that are linked to heart disease are banned in the U.S., but you can still find the coffee mate out here.
That is crazy.
Since 2018, it's been banned. So, I was like, all right, let me look for some other stuff that is going to make me just hate myself. And so, the question that I have is, for John, maybe Pun, can I move in with you guys when I tell my wife that she can't be eating Skittles no more?
Oh, well, Skittles Hotel.
Pun
Skittles
has
is horrible.
two locations, so yes.
Listen, the rule of thumb that I've come up with.
Hold on, wait a minute. Who got fiber, first of all? That's where I'm going.
Pun has fiber.
Yeah, all right. Sorry, John.
The rule of thumb. The rule of thumb I've come up with is that if it tastes delicious, it's horrible for you. so whatever it is that you enjoy, whatever it is that you are loving, it is horrible for you on one level or another. And I'm not shocked that Skittles is on this. And as a matter of fact, as a coffee drinker, I used to be a coffee mate guy. And then I switched. I got all I'm all almond milk now. You know what I'm saying?
Almond, excuse me.
Oat milk.
But I still roll with some, what I mean?
Hey, did you Google the almond milk? Are you sure there's nothing in there? You Googled it?
Listen, I'm pretty sure that everything that I'm going to ingest is going to have some form of something that should not be in my body. But you have to go ahead and you have to weigh that out, man. You have to weigh that out. That's it.
So we're gonna go through this list, man. I really wanted. So the first thing I already knew about farm raised salmon and what's wild salmon. Yeah. And ever since I learned about it, every time I go to the store, I look at it and it's like, man, this farm raised, this looks disgusting, right? And then you find out that they feed, I don't even know how to pronounce this, astaxanthin to give it the color
the color to make it
of what it has.
Astaxanthin?
Yeah. And that is salmon containing this petrochemical is banned for consumption in Australia and New Zealand. Yo, why these other countries care about their citizens more than America?
Because they're not completely sold out to corporate interests. That's why we can have fiber. That's people. Can we have solar and wind? None of that stuff.
I mean, if you look, right, the projection is, if you look at the obesity rate in America since the early, it always gone up. Like the early thousands was in 29%, 2018, 19, 20 was like 42%. And by 2030 is projected to be 50%. So they want you to have all those, because why? Now you're going to go in and order all those pills from pharma, and you're going to put, everything you go to the doctor, first thing they're going to do is let's put you in this medication. Right. So it's all about profit driven. What was it in New York? Wasn't it in New York one time that what's a Bloomberg that was trying to say you can't get extra large sodas? And
you couldn't get a super big gulp.
You get something. People went crazy. People were like, no.
Right. I'm an American. I need 48 ounces of that soda in me right now.
Yeah. Even if you look, have you ever tasted a Coca-Cola in Europe compared to a Coca-Cola in the United States? It's different.
Because of the bottling. And by the way, they regionally changed the thing to suit the area. That's the way they do it. That's weird.
I want to show you. This is how a wild, a farm salmon looks. Look at this.
Yeah, that got a wig on it. What's that?
Pretty healthy.
It's got cancer. Yo, I mean, here's another picture. Here's a couple other. This is how they farm raise it. It's just Absolutely.
Yo, that looks like a New York City apartment. Look how many are cramped in there.
That's it. You know what's funny? You'll get farm raised salmon, but you'll get a free range chicken. You know,
What's up, man? As the resident vegetarian / vegan on this show, man, all these pictures are so sad. I feel for all of you that are eating half the crap in this list. I ran through that list. I was like, thank God I don't eat almost any of that stuff. Like,
God bless you.
Oh man, I don't.
Yo, once I saw Frosted Flakes on there, I was like, oh. Now I don't need
I got a
Frosted
little
Flakes
nervous because I do eat some of those cereals. I was like,
I was a kid.
We all grew up on that. Don't come and say.
Yeah, I mean, we all had it. They're great.
I'm out here afraid of the Rona. I have enough Frosted Flake bowls in me.
You're immune.
The next few.
Demonetized.
And even what was the article? There was an article too on what was it? Fruity Loops, right? There were Fruity Loops are banned in Canada and stuff like the stuff that they have in it and stuff like that. So
it's bad. But go back to that graphic real quick, Case.
Which one?
Interesting. The one with the farm raised salmon and the other and the tilapia. By the way, I don't eat tilapia anymore.
Oh, I don't eat. I heard about tilapia. Tell us about tilapia.
Don't ever. It's again. I heard stories of tilapia and anytime I see the words farm raised when it comes with seafood, I'm like, oh no, I can't buy it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you'll notice that in that graphic, the thing that's wild caught is more expensive than the other stuff. Take a look at the prices.
Yeah,
that's how you know.
Yeah. That's how you know. And it's sad because it's like, okay, the rich who don't care about prices, their food is, and that's another thing with fruit, right? You got organic and then you got the pesticide, or I call it poison food. You got the poison food and then you got the clean food. And you basically it's the organic versus the non-organic, and the organic is always more expensive.
But even with the organic, you got to read the label. There's been
even with the organic,
there's been lawsuits because some companies like you got to include us in the organic.
Yeah,
you know, because XYZ, they're trying to find some loophole just because 1% is organic. Oh yeah, we're organic because 1% of it is.
But not only that, they found in organic baby food, they found arsenic and they found lead in organic baby food for babies.
Was it organic arsenic?
I know, right? It needed to be organic version. Right?
But the funny thing the thing that bothers me about this list is like there's things that are obvious. Skittles, no kidding. Frosted Flakes, I could buy that. Little Debbie like cakes, I know there's something wrong with that. But then they have wheat thins on this list, and I'm like, this is a bad sell, my friend.
No, Rice Krispies. Krispies.
At least wheat thins was the packaging, though, right? It was the packaging.
It's something in it.
Oh, but
that BHC, whatever it is that's in
it.
That's
right. So it's like the wheat thins. You're like, okay, I could eat the wheat thins. They're good. But the box that it comes with is going to give you cancer.
But my point is that I think that there's a very horrible sell when it comes to certain products. Oh, this is 100% whole wheat, and this is you think it's a better alternative to the other stuff, and it's probably just as bad. It's probably even worse.
Yeah.
So that's bad. I mean, but I'm not shocked at the other Skittles. It's too delicious to not be good for you. I'm telling you.
All right, let's see if we can do a rapid fire.
You can't move in with us.
Sorry, Carlito.
So this dairy milk has our. You want to say something, Carlito?
I was going to say that in the chat, who was it? Oh, for nothing said, I don't eat much meat, and I wanted to start eating fish for healthy fats and protein, but after doing some research, couldn't find a source I felt comfortable with. So even when you try to eat healthier, it's hard.
And or afford, because this stuff is expensive. You get the wild stuff, it's expensive.
If you could get it wild, try to get it wild, but it is very expensive. I saw the wild salmon is like $14 a pound around my house.
Yeah, it's crazy.
All for nothing. Nuts are a great source of fats and protein. Just saying.
All right, there you go. That's your tip of the show. All right, here's some other stuff. I really want to go through this list just to educate the audience and go through it. All right, so dairy has RBST, PGH hormones in it.
Elemental P.
And here's more Mountain
Dew, of course.
I mean, duh. Okay.
It's banned in Japan. Yeah, I don't mess with.
Of course.
And the European Union.
That ain't shocking.
Chicken that's been chlorinated.
This was a good one for me. No, this is know if it's chlorinated or not.
This one I found it interesting because it's like they banned it in these countries preemptively, not because it's something wrong automatically, but because it encourages bad farming practices, because they know if you could just clean it with bleach, you could do whatever the hell with your meat. So they're like, you know what? We don't want you to even attempt to start your pun. You nasty. But anyway.
Yeah, this says it's banned in the European Union and United Kingdom.
Why?
And because it had a risk of spreading disease and illness like salmonella. So that's why they chlorinated it, right, Carlito?
Yeah. Yeah, so they chlorinated so they could clean it, but it's like, all right, but maybe if you raise them better, it won't have salmonella in the first place. So
exactly. Now raise them in their own feces.
To go ahead. Yeah, all right.
You see that chicken in the United States get washed with chlorine.
Meanwhile, that guy in the video doesn't look too bad now when he was washing it with the soap in the sink. But anyway,
you got the little Debbie's here.
Yeah, come on.
It contains food dyes yellow 5 and red 40. That's the
good one. That's the good one.
The red 40 tastes good.
The red 30, the red 30, nah, man. The 40
bad, but the red 40.
The red 40. Here's some Arby's. All right. All right, I'm gonna do a speed. Frosted Flakes.
Frosted Flakes, that hurt my heart.
Yeah,
I knew that.
Is this the one you're talking about, Carlito?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Oh man.
Bad stuff.
And then the stovetop stuffing.
Yeah, I don't even know what's in there anyway. So
now they're coming after ice cream. Look at this. It's crazy.
Now we got here we go. Drumstick. Let me see what's bad in this. But the additives that derive from seaweed can affect the human digestive system. Lord have mercy.
Yeah,
that's why you got the runs when you eat that ice. It's not lactose intolerant.
Raphael was like, you just eat grass and water. Like, no, because there's the seaweed. They can't mess with it.
Right. Where'd you get the seaweed from?
Yeah.
Off the shore of Japan. It's
the
really
grass got the Roundup in it.
Yeah, here's the wheat thins that the chemical is banned in United Kingdom, Japan, and parts of Europe. Oh, it's because of the BHT in the packaging. Oh my goodness. Gatorade, that yellow color is probably I guessed it, and it was right here, yellow 5 and yellow 6. That's the artificial colors that are banned in foods and infant and children around in European Union. Yep.
Nasty.
Pop-Tarts. Oh man, I love me some Pop-Tarts too. This got yellow 5, yellow 6, and red 40. That red 40 again showing up. Oh, look at this. Look, Izzy, what you think about
Izzy?
Izzy.
Yummy.
All of it is just making me gag.
Izzy likes the sausage.
Then we got the Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me. See, that stuff's nasty.
Oh my goodness.
Lucky Charms? You ain't like Lucky Charms?
Dude, I mean, look, when I was a kid, I could crush a bowl of Lucky Charms. I can't do that now. It's crazy.
All right.
Yeah. Yo,
I think this got a lot. It's a longer list, but we're gonna keep it moving from here.
Yo, Pillsbury crescent rolls, you can't do that. And then Doritos Light. Not even the regular Doritos, Doritos Light. What? So even the healthier option sucks.
By the way, the most dangerous thing when it comes to those Pillsbury dough thingies is opening the package.
The explosion.
So here's the Doritos Light that Carlito was talking about.
Doritos Light.
Fat substitutes. The FDA approved it back in 1996 to make snacks gluten-free. However, the side effects of the additive include abdominal cramping and loose stools. The fat substitute also inhibits the absorption of vitamins and nutrients. It's banned in Canada and many European countries.
I don't like MAGA Light or Doritos Light.
Yo, Raph said.
I don't understand. Like, you know,
if you eat hot dogs in New York City, then you're good.
Again, another one. A dirty water dog. A dirty water dog has gone ahead.
Yo, every time I go, if I'm in downtown New York City, I gotta have a dirty water hot dog. Man, they're the best. All the time.
The hot dog water by itself, baby. Ooh, you don't know what you're missing out.
Oh my god.
That's like Izzy's fear factor. Drink this.
Yo, for real.
That's what I'm telling you. Like, you know, if these politicians were now all bought by this corporation, they will actually be like, oh, why this ban in Europe? Let's ban it here too and force this company to actually create good products.
See, they don't care because first of all, they're getting good money for not caring. And second of all, they got enough money that they got from not caring to buy the good stuff.
So let me ask you all this question. If we had Medicare for all, where the government is more invested in the citizenry and their health, you think they would do more to like maybe tax these bad chemicals or get rid of them in our food system?
No, absolutely they would, because that's why the other countries are doing it. That's why the other countries are banning this stuff, because they are in charge of the healthcare system. And I mean, if you think of it this way, even though it's kind of a bad way to think of it, it costs them more money if all their citizens are unhealthy.
The government, right? It costs.
Right,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
true. Yeah.
So
I'm still
that could
waiting
be a
on
way
the
to save
adoption
money.
of the metric system.
It sounds like you're cynical. Are we going to have an impromptu no calzone here? Go ahead, Big Pun. You want to debate that?
What? The metric system?
No.
My
no debate.
argument is that when the world adopts something that's good for the world, we don't follow suit. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. It's just not going to happen. Too many people love crushing bags of Dorito Light because they think it's like better for them. This consumer market is built for those people that are not going to actually think and do research. They're just going to buy stuff because they see a package and it says light and I guess it's better. I see whole wheat, I think it's better. I mean, are they going to be more invested now that they're going to be providing healthcare for all? They'll make people aware, but do you think they're going to ban something? I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
Those products wouldn't exist with.
They will get rid of the buy one get one free though.
They banned trans fats though, right? Trans fat was the last thing that was banned. So I'm just
So the reason why it wouldn't happen is has to do also again with money, because the government will want to do it, but as long as the corporations are there saying, because even when we will save money with Medicare, like regular Medicare, and with drugs, if you just, I don't know, negotiate with the drug companies, it helps the government. But since the politicians are still bought out by the pharmaceutical companies, they don't allow the government to even negotiate with something to save the government money. So that's why it's not going to happen. And then the people, they want to eat what they want to eat, but those companies are going to be putting ads all the time. They're going to be all in their brains. It's hard not to look at what was the Applebee's in the middle of a Ukraine war and not get hungry.
But even if you go back to when what was it? Remember when Michelle Obama tried to change the school lunches, and that potato company lobbyists came in and said the kids need to have their French fries. This is not going to work. And
ketchup got tomato, so it's a vegetable.
It's a vegetable. It's the nutrients.
So all those things. So if you look at start a school system, like our school lunch is trash. Like what they feed our kids is like crazy. So they already like
for the prisons.
Yeah. Very much.
Yo, so this Lucky Burrito said natural, and that just reminded me of how many other people think that natural flavors, right? Where you look at the ingredients, you see natural flavors. Like that's got to be a loophole for them to put in their MSG or all the bad chemicals, right?
It's all marketing. There's no regulation of the word natural. You can put natural. You could put natural on a plutonium, whatever, and you could call it, because there's no regulation around those terms. So
that's the word that bothers me the most, because poison is natural. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what does this mean? What does that mean? What does it mean?
It doesn't mean anything. They know that they can use it for marketing and they can get away with it because there's no regulation around that term.
That's the word that's bad. One of the most horrible words of the marketing things for packaging. Natural.
That's why you got to look for seals more so, and even then, there's a lot of issues with that.
The rating, folks,
like this is confirmed organic by this organization. Correct. As long as you know the right organization is to look for, confirmed, like free range or whatever. Like these are the things you have to look for, not the marketing terms.
Yeah, I remember the
7 minutes left.
I remember the ads for in support of high fructose corn syrup. They were like, these people are trying to,
I remember that
into this, but it's just sugar. It's corn. It's natural.
Yeah, I remember that too. But let's move on. We got 7 minutes left. Let's do the last article.
All right, real quick. Conor Lamb's new Senate strategy. I'm not Joe Manchin by Akilah Lacey at The Intercept. So a year ago, Lamb considered Manchin an ally. Now the Pennsylvania Senate candidate is running from Manchin's obstructionism. In 2020, Manchin endorsed Lamb, and they were all cool. Now Conor Lamb is voting on title bills that Manchin is against. What's up with this new strategy case? Is it a sign of things to come?
So we know the situation over there in PA, and we played that crazy lunatic GOP person on the other side. This is on the Democratic side of that contest, the Senate Pennsylvania contest. So basically, Fetterman is ahead. He's got way more money. He used to be, or he is the lieutenant governor of Pennsylvania. And actually, I have it here. he has 12 million, while Conor Lamb has raised 4 million. And out of that 4 million, like 17%, I think was maxed out from wealthy donors. So basically, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, is a duck. This guy, he walks like a corporate Democrat, talks like a corporate Democrat, and now at the end, he's trying to pretend he's not a corporate Democrat. He got Manchin's endorsement back in 2020 when he ran for the House. You know, he blamed progressives when he barely won that House seat in 2020. He tried to blame, like all the other people were blaming progressives for defund the police and all this different stuff. So he's talking like a corporate Democrat, acting like one. He's just trying to win at all costs. And then once he gets in there, trust me, he will act like a Joe Manchin.
Of course.
Agreed.
Yeah, he just, you know, they're going to do anything in their power to say whatever they want to try to win, right? So they will tell you I'm not this, but backdoor. They realize, and you know, Manchin, how much Manchin is hated. So he doesn't want to be associated with him.
So Lamb was the only of 3 Democrats in the House who voted in 2018 to make parts of the Trump tax cuts, including the cuts for the wealthy individuals, permanent. Come on.
That's it right there.
That's it right there. He
shows you what it is.
All right. I guess nothing else to say on this one. I'm gonna talk about something real quick. I'm gonna try to bring up a clip before we end the show, or go to the chat if you want to. Let's see. Anything in the chat?
Yeah, man. PJ Chris talking about Fetterman was the major that fixed his town and made it a great place to live and do business. You know, that's why they're against him. Lucky burrito, like L-cysteine. It's added into bread. Do you know what that is? Human hair, feathers, and it's not needed, but extends the shelf life of bread.
Yummy.
Wow. Yeah.
Holly Horn says the Japanese school lunches are very nutritious.
Yeah.
That's why they don't have the obesity rates that we have.
I'm sure. All right. I definitely want to cover this clip. Yeah, I want you guys to hear this clip real quick. Here we go.
Exactly. I spoke yesterday to several senior administration officials in previous administrations, and I was struck by how many of them understood that the United States should not introduce troops to NATO, should not have a no-fly zone because of what that would provoke. But I did hear quiet criticism, something that they said they would not say publicly, but quiet criticism that the United States should not recoil every time Vladimir Putin or his foreign minister wave the bloody flag of basically nuclear brinkmanship. When we are silent, when we back down, when we capitulate to that, they suggest that we actually make it more likely that Putin sees us as weak and that he's more likely to use nuclear weapons. And their suggestion is to call his bluff and speak about the consequences of nuclear weapons and the consequences for the Russian people, and to not just, again, be seen to be capitulating. I'm curious what you think, because, again...
So let me just pause it there real quick. So this is a guy, if you guys remember, before Putin started, bombing Ukraine and everything, before that, they were saying, he's not going to bomb it. He's just talking a lot of stuff, and he just wants NATO, us to get it, Ukraine not to enter NATO. And then the man, not only did he bomb Ukraine, like a section of Ukraine, because that's what it initially was. We thought it was just a little section. He bombed the whole blessed thing. Like, he's trying to get the whole country. Now this Joe Scarborough is we need to call his bluff on starting World War III and starting a nuclear holocaust. Like, what you guys think?
What's that song? The Kenny Rogers song? You gotta know when to hold them.
Oh, that's the Gambler. Yeah, got you. All right. So this is my thought. I think that nobody that has nukes is going to use them. This is my ultimate thought on everybody.
Okay, go ahead.
Across the board. I think that everybody holds them and uses them to go ahead and have that power of negotiation. But no one's going to do that. It's dumb. If you want to take over Ukraine, right? Let's just say they had, let's just say that they had something you wanted, and they do for him, right? But let's just say they had something you wanted. Why would you nuke it? Why? What's the point of that?
We got a debate going on here.
Why?
No.
Why would you do that?
They gonna be out here.
I was like, what just happened?
I
thought YouTube canceled us.
For the calzone, but he doesn't have one for Carlito.
Yo, first of all, history tells us we were this close to nuclear war, like at least twice back in JFK day. On the Russian side, they really thought that the nuclear bomb was on its way, and they was about to like it's possible, right? Even by accident, stuff can happen.
Yeah, I got one exception to that. I generally agree with you, Punt, but I got one exception, and that is if we try to overthrow Putin externally from outside. Somebody that doesn't care is like, if I'm gonna go out, if you're gonna take me out, I'm gonna take you with me. If he thinks there's no way out, if he's not gonna be able to get out of it and be like, you know, living rich in exile somewhere, he will drop it because he don't care.
Why?
Because
you're taking a very logical approach to this. You have to understand when you get to be these leaders and you get to be as crazy as some of these leaders are.
Right.
You know, they're not all right in the head. Look at Kanye. Right? You know what I'm saying? We've all watched the documentary now, right? Like the dude is not straight in the head. You don't think some of these leaders are dealing with the same exact mental issues that he has?
I will tell you this. I believe, and this is me because I'm crazy and I have, you know, I have these conspiracy theories. I believe that all these leaders that have them have pretty much said to themselves, we won't let the other people get to them. We'll just hold on to them. Yeah, and we'll go ahead and control this thing, and therefore we can control a lot of other things. And that would mean you, me, everybody else that comes along, but we won't let the really crazy people get to it.
Like Donald Trump?
Well,
hang on, because wait, he's
you know what this
he's
guy
an
real quick,
a-hole and he's a nutbag, but he's
he suggested to have a freaking nuclear bomb go into the tornado that we had. We had a tornado. Remember, do you guys know that?
Yeah. To change
he wanted to bomb the tornado with the nuclear weapon.
He's been watching.
Did he recently say that we should put the China flag at the planes?
I forgot what the conflict was, but there was reports that he was saying, well, why can't we use a nuke? And people were like, come on, son.
Right. Everybody's going, come on, son.
But he was like, what can we? Like that the generals were legitimately thinking about, we might have to, do something about this guy.
Could we use somebody else as an example? I mean, this guy told people that it would be a good idea to inject Lysol or something.
Exactly.
Let's use another example.
Did he just say? Didn't he just recently say that we should put the Chinese flag at the pilot in Russia?
What?
Chinese flag?
What?
He said, I think he recently just jokingly was saying that we should put the flag on our jets, the Chinese flag.
The Chinese, so they wouldn't recognize them?
And invade
Yo, where Carlito go? Where he go?
Well, in Russian media, hold on, big pun. In Russian media, they actually said, I wish I would have wrote down the guy's name and could bring up his clip, but they said something like, if Russia can't have Ukraine, why do we need what was it? Why do we need Ukraine? Wait. Oh man, I gotta find the clip. It was
let
basically
him have it or something.
I'm sorry?
Like let him have it?
Yeah, he was saying like we might as well drop the bomb if we can't have what we want and we can't exist back to where we used to be. We might as well just get rid of the
That's
whole
people
world.
that don't think
I gotta
straight.
find it out.
He's obsessed. He's like a sex ex. Like he just want to have just want to have it just because.
Dude, we're talking about a Cold War era, old school KGB Soviet dude. He just wants the map to be what it used to be. He's not used to seeing all these countries. He's confused by it, like old people. Listen, bro.
He can't read the minimap.
He can't read the minimap. He's like, "What's Ukraine? What is this? What is all that? It didn't used to be that. It was one big thing. What happened? What happened?"
You know, I think I heard a theory that's not necessarily what it is either. Like there's a theory of trying to reunite the greater Russia, make it like the Soviet Union used to be. But another theory that I heard about is that Ukraine is great for fertile land and other natural resources.
There's a lot of natural resources.
And Russia is
warm water port.
It's also a cultural center for Russian history and all that other stuff.
But I mean, as far as money is concerned, Russia right now, the whole thing is oil and gas, and we know with clean energy, that's not going to be there forever. These oligarchs need to make money somewhere else, so they want to take over the resources in Ukraine and make some money there. So that's another reason for it, to have the next industries after oil and gas.
Well, another rule of thumb in my whole thing on the history of the conspiracy on nukes is we don't invade anybody that has a nuke. We don't do anything against anybody that has a nuke. You can watch Pakistan and India go to war with each other forever. We ain't getting in it because they got nukes. We're gonna go ahead. This is the rule of thumb. The rule of thumb is we go to places where there's poor brown people and we wreck it. That's what we do because we're bullies and we could do that. But we don't go anywhere that has nukes. You ever notice that?
Yeah. So that's why they want them. That's why
they're advocating in the media for a no-fly zone. Yeah. No-fly zone means that we would have to bomb the Russian planes that's going over and bombing Ukraine right now. We would have to bomb them. If we start bombing Russian planes, that's it.
Well, we'd be in it. But we'd be in it. Ukrainian pilots are kicking their ass, by the way. I don't know if you've heard of that one, but I hear that. But there's a guy who became an ace.
The ghost.
Yeah, I don't know how that's true because some of the pictures out there were kind of,
I heard it wasn't true too. I heard it was a myth or something like that.
See, but in the chat is Chris said Ukraine is a breadbasket of Europe. Almost all of Egypt's wheat comes from Ukraine. So so that's what I was talking about.
Right.
There.
And also, there's an oil pipeline that goes through Ukraine that they could save money on. They pay a tax right now. Russia pays a tax for that pipeline, but they could get money if they take over Ukraine. All right, so I'm going to show this last. Huh? You got one more thing?
Holly was saying that neo-Nazis are in Ukraine and Ukrainians are being used, but we got neo-Nazis and straight up Nazis in the U.S. They're everywhere.
Oh, neo-Nazis? Like
Zelensky? There's Nazis in Russia. There's neo-Nazis in Russia.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, Holly. No, Holly, come on now.
Come on, man.
Are you really using a Putin talking point for this? Are we serious?
Wait, what happened?
That we have to invade you. Isn't that the whole reason why they said they had to invade Ukraine because of the Nazis in Ukraine?
That's one of the excuses they use. They use a bunch of excuses.
Yeah, led by Zelensky, whose freaking parents and family was affected by the Holocaust. No. You're right.
Putin put out a smorgasbord of excuses. He even said that they had weapons of mass destruction.
I've heard that one before.
Yeah,
I mean, whatever the excuse is given, the point is that Russia went in there first. They were the ones that were the aggressor first. So that makes it clear cut who's in the wrong. Because even if somebody is talking about your mama from across the border, it's still talk.
But she's over here. She's saying that you need to give the situation context. Neo-Nazis in Ukraine, Russians lost millions to Nazis. This is Jimmy Dore stuff. Nah, I can't.
Wait, where's that clip?
This is
it in the chat.
Saying in the chat. No, but these are Putin talking points. This is straight from RT. This is come on now.
RT
can't be serious.
That's still around?
Not for much longer.
Yeah. I mean, even if it was true, it's irrelevant because this, a lot of people love people to Nazis. That doesn't excuse somebody just attacking a sovereign country. Just like
why isn't Russia attacking Germany then?
Right. Why is the U.S. being attacked right now?
Yeah,
come on now.
Or this country for that matter. Don't we have neo-Nazis?
All right.
Russia did think that it was gonna be easier than what they thought to take Ukraine. So they're definitely struggling there.
So before we end the show, and I have one more tweet to just touch on. How you guys think this conflict is going to end?
They're gonna have some kind of ceasefire.
Diplomatic means. Everybody thinks so. I hope so. The only thing I would say is one of the things that Bernie Sanders brought up, and the guy is always present, or always like ahead of his time when it comes to the war in Iraq and when it comes to global climate. And all he actually does is listen to the scientists. He's not nobody special, but he just listens to what's going on, really. One of the things that always stuck in my mind that he warned about, and he said that if he was president, he would really put a lot of effort into, was nuclear weapons, ending nuclear proliferation. And my thing is, okay, if the opposite of what Bernie Sanders or whatever, if what Bernie Sanders worry about always comes to pass, then what's the next thing that's going to come to pass? Some kind of nuclear incident. So I'm really hope it doesn't happen. Yeah.
You say only the things that he worries about, not the things he wants. Yeah.
All the things he worries about, like, or he brings, like, it happens somehow. You know, right now we're in the middle. The last thing that he talked about before the nuclear proliferation was global climate. Remember in that debate, it was a question that was asked, "What's our biggest threat?" It was Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. She said, I think it was like ISIS or Taliban or something, and he said it's global warming. And look at where we are now. You know, with global warming. So I just hope I'm wrong, and I hope he's wrong, that we have a little bit of time left that we could get some kind of nuclear proliferation.
I don't think it's gonna be nuclear weapons ain't going nowhere. Because
you don't think so? Because one bomb going on, and they keep advancing the technology, right? And I heard today that one bomb is 10,000 times more powerful than the original.
Hiroshima. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What the blood? Yo, that's it for us.
So that's my point. You're not going to use that.
If I was random country Y, if I was the president over there, I would never say this in public, but low key, I'd be trying to get a nuke, straight up, because that's the only way to.
Which country?
If I was the president of random country X, whatever, because that's the only way you're going to protect yourself from an invasion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the negotiation chip.
That's what it is. I don't want to use it. But that's just, I got it in my back pocket to let you know, hey.
I think they should get rid of all nuclear weapons except one for each country. Just keep one.
Oh my God!
One missile.
All right.
One missile.
Let me see what's up from my man. We're Pilgrim in the chat. Much love to you. And now we're going to end on this last one. It said, "Holy hell!" This is from Public Citizen. Senator Toomey quietly slipped in an amendment to ban postal banking into the Postal Service Reform Act. This includes money orders with which the USPS sells $21 billion worth of per year.
Right.
We can't let this happen.
I don't get
Why? Yeah,
What?
it's crazy.
I mean,
who does this affect? Who does this affect? Let's talk about that.
I don't get it.
Banks.
Chase Bank. Probably.
You want to have
people without checking accounts.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. So you're going to have to go to the bank to get checks. You're going to have to, bankers checks, whatever. That is filthy there.
If you ask me, this is going to be another nail in the coffin of USPS. If you get rid of the few things that actually make you something that people actually use you for, because trust me, the mail system is taking a hit. So let's be real. It's only a matter of time before Bezos sweeps in and says, "Y'all work for me anyway. I want you to take this over." Right. So my thing is, if you're getting rid of that, what is the use of this thing we call USPS? What is it at the end of the day?
I didn't even know USPS did money orders.
Yes, sir, they do.
Yes, sir, I never knew that.
That's like
guaranteed funds. That's how my mom.
Since you were a kid, your mom never took you to the post office to get a money order.
He didn't grow up like that.
Oh, I guess not. He did.
We still got a Bravo.
He probably the
Western Union.
Oh, you got that. You got the check cash.
But it's not a USPS postal office.
He had Venmo when he was 5.
I am the youngest here.
Exactly.
No, actually, that's even worse though, because a lot of people they'll just go to the check cashing places and get 5% of the check.
Walmart. They go to Walmart,
and then
Walmart does it,
or other places.
Yeah, and they take a fee. Everybody should have a bank account.
Understood.
Yeah,
not the norm for a lot of communities.
Especially with the technology nowadays, all you need is they can have a couple ATMs in the postal office, and you could do direct deposit, and back and forth. All right, guys.
Who put out the broom? Who put out the broom and the Apollo?
I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody in the chat. PJ Holly, PJ Chris, PJ Neat's in the building. I know PJ Mia's in the building somewhere. Who else? PJ Rafael Rodriguez is in the building. Lucky Burrito, thanks for coming through. I'll see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. East Standard Time. Who else is out here? All for nothing. Thank you for coming through. Said PJ Neat already? I think I said PJ. I said, the love always. Much love to the love always is in the building. Much love to you. All right. I think that's everybody. Thank you, Raphael. Soon to become a PJ. Oh, the Patreon members: Nancy Venture, Pedro Hernandez, Deborah B, PJ Chris, Akabash Akita, Zachary Guslan. And yo, my man Big Pun was in the building.
I need 5 more. I need 5 more.
Yeah, my man.
5 more.
Hey,
So I can get my bonus card. Yeah.
5 more, and you permanently replace Gabe.
Yes!
Darkness. You get one of those Subway cards that you got to punch it 7 times before you get a free Subway.
Come back and Gabe is out.
Discount.
Get a T-shirt, PJ T-shirt or something.
I'm down with that.
John, for that we could drop the requirement to 3 more. 3 more.
Damn.
If you're willing to replace Gabe, 2 more.
Wow. Wow.
All right, I'm going to go around the horn. Ben Doan, any
we don't
last
want
words?
nobody from Florida here.
If you want to continue the conversation, join the Discord. We're there, chit-chatting.
Yeah. Izzy.
I'm good. As always, fun as always.
Yeah, Carlito.
Yo, shout out to everybody else because I hear people that they don't participate in the chat, but they still watch or they watch the VODs afterwards. Because they can't watch it live. So shout out to everybody that still gives us love after.
Yeah, and big Pun.
Yo, thank you for having me, guys. Case, thanks for the invite. Thank you for everybody for watching. And yo, hopefully I'll be back.
Yeah, definitely. Love you, man. John.
It's Monday. I made it.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. Where's the music, man?
Wrap it up.
You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate that. Much love to y'all. Adios. Peace.